That's right. The rest of it is just stick those like
Good morning. My name is Lynn Hickson. I'm a member of the board here at Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church, and on behalf of the board and the program council, it's my honor to welcome you here this morning. As we enter this space today, know that you are surrounded by the love of this community where all are welcome. Whoever you are and wherever you're from and wherever you are on your journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time or your 101st time, whether you're here in the building or you're watching online, you are welcome here. Can we all say good morning to our friends watching online? Give them a big wave. If you would like more information about our church, please fill out the visitor card in the pocket in front of you or visit our website, TVUUC.org, and select Stay in Touch. That will give you the virtual visitor card. You can also do that if you're in the building too, just on your phone. If you're visiting us with small children, we invite you to sit in front where it's easier for your little ones to see and hear what's going on, down here on the blue rug. But please don't feel that you must keep them still. All are welcome here, and we understand that silence is never completely silent. If you or your children need to step out of the sanctuary for just a moment, the E.E. Cummings room is the glass enclosed room right back there in the corner where you can still see and hear the service. And if you are interested in classes here at TVUUC for your children or for yourself, we have adult RE too, please visit the RE hallway after the service. It's through the double doors just past the kitchen. And look for these blue lanyards, and you can speak to a member of an RE leader about more information on that. And you can also find more information on our website. Also, if you need some accessibility aids, we also have hearing devices and large print hymnals. You can ask an usher for one of those. We have just a few announcements this morning. The first is about Pride. So next month, October, is LGBTQ History Month. And so October 3rd, Friday evening, is the parade. We are looking for drivers and walkers for the parade. And October 4th, Saturday, is the festival from noon to 6. If you can help with either of those events, walking, driving, or helping staff the table, set up, break down, all that good stuff, please see Trevor Palmer. He is the lead this church year of the Welcoming Congregation. And now here's Ruth for Justice Knox.
Good morning. 3 years ago, TVUUC joined over 20 Knox County congregations to participate in an organization called Justice Knox as part of our ongoing justice ministry. Justice Knox is a locally funded nonprofit that organizes grassroots leaders to effectively solve community problems through direct action. Since then, Justice Knox has grown to 27 congregations, increasing our collective people power. We've built people power to challenge both the county and city mayor and other leaders to take actions that are improving our community, such as creation of an affordable housing fund, establishing restorative practices in Knox County schools to reduce unfair suspensions and expulsions, and training for police officers in violence reduction techniques. The Justice Knox cycle begins each fall with house meetings to collect all of our stories of injustices in our community. Justice Knox uses these stories to create an action list for the year. All TVUUC members and friends are invited to attend. Justice Knox Network members are expected to attend. Our dates this year are posted on out on the table in the gallery today, but they're September 26th, October 9th, and October 14th. You can sign up by talking to myself, Polly Murphy, or Barbara Taylor, or by putting your name on the flip chart out in the hall over the next couple Sundays. And you can also find more information in the newsletter or Facebook. So please come. It's really important that our congregation have a strong showing of people power, that's you guys, in the upcoming justice ministry year so that we can get important things done.
Thank you, Ruth. These announcements and others can be found on the back of your order of service and in the weekly email newsletter. If you'll look at the back, there are lots of announcements that's not read. Just to highlight, Family Promise Week begins today. They're looking for volunteers. Contact Robert Hyde. And there's also an adult RE class at 12:30 today. So please check that out. Today is a Share the Plate Sunday, and to tell you more about what that means, here is Claudia Presley.
That happens when you don't silence your phone in time. And hopefully it wasn't someone in this building. Anyway, my name is Claudia Presley. I'm the Director of Finance and Operations here at TVUUC. As Lynn said, today is a Share the Plate Sunday. What that means is that 50% of anything that you give today to our Share the Plate offering will go towards the organization for today. That organization is the Highlander Center, and I'll give you a little more information about them in just a minute. But let me tell you how to give. Super easy. If you're here in the sanctuary, there will be offering baskets in the middle of the service that will be passed. You can put cash or checks in there. If you are holding a printed order of service, on the inside page at the top, you will see a little notice that says how to give. It's got multiple ways to give. If you're watching online, easiest way is a button or a bar on your screen that will say Give Now, and it takes you to our secure giving site. Or you can text Give to the number 73256, type in TVUUC and the amount that you would like to give. As I said, today's organization is the Highlander Center. Many of you know lots of things about the Highlander Center. If you don't, you can go to their website. It's highlandercenter.org. What I can tell you is the Highlander Center has been around for almost 100 years, Since 1932, they have been at the forefront of leading civil rights movements, union movements, labor movements, environmental movements, teachings, and trainings. They do multiple workshops, multiple online training. One of the things that I think is really interesting is they host a children's justice camp every year. So check them out. Go to their website, highlandercenter.org. Right now, though, think about how you can give during the offering. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Claudia. After the service, please join us for a coffee and conversation in the fellowship hall. And today we'll also have cake because we are celebrating Marianne Von Beck's 90th birthday. If you're visiting us today and would like a tour of the building or have questions about our church, just look for me there and I'll be glad to chat with you or show you around. And now, if you've not already done so, please silence any electronic devices as we enter into worship together.
This is an open letter from you and me together. Tomorrow's in our hands now. Find the words that matter and say them out loud and make it better somehow. Looking down from up on the moon, it's a tiny blue marble. Who would have thought the ground we stand on it'd be so fragile? This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world. The diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. 'Cause it's our world. It's not about possessions, money or religion, how many years we might live. The only real question that matters is still a matter of perspective. Looking down from up on the moon, you're a tiny blue marble. Who would have thought the ground we stand on could be so fragile? This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world. A diamond in the universe. Heaven's poetry to us. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. 'Cause it's our world.
Said Mama Earth is in a crazy mess. It's time for us to do the best. From deep sea straight up to Everest. She under crazy stress unless you want to be motherless. Clean heart, green heart is the way to stress. Speediness and too much greediness. 6 billion people still want cleanliness. Some people think this is harmless. But if we continue, there'll only be emptiness.
This is a love song to the earth. You're no ordinary world. Diamond in the universe.
Welcome, everyone here in the sanctuary and with us online. As one species among so many on our earth, and even in the best of times, we humans cross the full spectrum of goods and bads, pretties and uglies, don't we? This morning, we consider ways to recenter who and how we are with each other and within the diversity of all living things. We ask, how do we understand and honor our best, true, authentic nature? 4 TVUUC groups and Bryant's Bridge co-organized today's exploration of the oneness of authenticity. Representing our 4 groups today are Lisa Shields from Beloved Community, she, her pronouns, Trevor Palmer of Welcoming Congregation, he, him, and pansexual, Doris Gove of Green Sanctuary, and myself, Alwyn Castaneda, along with Alex Cullum from the Young Adults Group. I think it's time for our opening words. Sorry, folks. Got a little lost in the sauce. We're delighted to co-present with individuals from Bryant's Bridge today here in Knoxville. We welcome Amelia, she, her, Demir, he, him, Sam, Belle, and to Max, who could not be here today, we send light, peace, and good health. We also welcome Sean Bryant, MSSW, CEO and founder of Bryant's Bridge. Sean's been a social worker for over 35 years in domestic violence, healthcare hospice, clinical and school social work, advocacy, and community change. From 2003 to 2013, in partnership with TVUUC and 35 other community groups, he created an after-school enrichment program and a strong social service network for the community of Lonsdale. In 2021, while working for the College of Social Work at UTK, Sean started Bryant's Bridge Incorporated, which is a small, mostly volunteer, nonprofit agency to address youth housing insecurity. Part of his life purpose, Bryant's Bridge is a transition home for 18 to 24-year-old adults who have experienced homelessness related to their LGBTQ+ status. Welcome all.
You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clear blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of all things.
May I be light in you.
please join in singing our opening hymn, Whoever You Are.
It is good to be gathered today in all the ways that we are gathered here in this space and watching from other spaces. It always feels good to be together on Sundays. And I have a story to share with you today that is adapted from one, inspired by one written by Roz McLean called Together a Forest. And we're gonna work together some today. I'm gonna need a little bit of help. There are a number of moments during the story where I'm gonna need a helper who would like to come and hold up a sign for me as we go, okay? So when I ask for a helper, if you would like to be one of the helpers, raise your hand, and I will call some folks forward to help. So this is a story that begins with a group of kids who were in a class together. Have any of us ever been in a class? They were all classmates, and they were having a field trip. Have any of us ever gone on a field trip? The class was going on a field trip to the forest. And when they got there, their teacher passed out sketchbooks to the kids and said, okay, we are going to explore today. And because we only have a little bit of time for our art project, we're gonna invite you to choose one thing you see in the forest today that you feel drawn to. And you're gonna draw that in your sketchbook. All right? One kid named Joy was a little nervous about this. She wasn't sure how she would know what to pick. But kids around her zoomed around, and first there was a kid whose body always needed to move. Is there anybody here who moves around a lot? He zigzagged around and he saw something to draw. Could I have one volunteer come up and join me? Oh, come right on up. Would you hold this sign up for me? You can come stand beside me here and show it so people can see. That kid found, what do we have there? A bee. The bee zigzagged around. Another kid found something else. I need another volunteer. Would somebody come and join me? Come on up. Would you hold this sign up? You can stand right there. Another kid paused as she was walking through the forest with her white cane to listen, and she heard the sounds of what? What did she hear? Can you show it around that way too? Does anybody have a guess what she heard? She heard birds, and as the birds moved around, if they moved behind branches or moved further away, the sounds changed. And the trees and the plants themselves made kinds of sound shadows, and they helped her understand her world. So instead of a sketchbook, she had a recorder, and she pressed record as she listened to the bird sounds, and she thought, what are they saying, I wonder? Another of Joy's classmates was looking through the forest and found something else. Can I have one more volunteer? Let's see, would you like to come up? Would you hold this up? And you can go stand right over there. Can you stand on that side? What does that look like? This kid found a small waterfall, and in the mist there were ferns that waved in the mist like her happy dancing hands. And as she saw the ferns waving, she thought about the ways in which her body moved that helped her feel just right, sometimes jumping or clapping or dancing or flapping or rocking or humming. Do any of us ever have movements that help us feel just right sometimes? So she drew the ferns and the waterfall. Joy was watching this happen. Joy didn't feel just right. Joy felt all wrong. She had no idea what she was going to find that she would feel drawn to. Meanwhile, other classmates were still looking around. I need one more volunteer. Would somebody like to come up? Oh, I see somebody back there. Would you come? Yeah, come on up. You can both come. You can be my next two volunteers. I know that was very confusing because you were right in line with each other from me. Come on up. One more kid looked down at the ground and saw something. What did that kid see? Mushrooms. Do any of us know that mushrooms have tiny things, sort of like threads, that grow down underground? They're called mycelia. And they connect with each other, and they share nutrients, and they even can communicate with each other all across the forest. And this was a kid, she didn't know why she was so interested in those mushrooms, but she was a kid who loved being connected with all the other people and knowing what was going on. And when she saw something that felt unfair, she could tell. She loved being connected to everybody, and she drew the mushrooms. Another classmate of Joy's looked up, up, and up, and up, and saw a giant cedar tree that he drew. He was somebody who moved at a little bit of a slower pace than the people around him. His mind needed lots of time and space to think things through really deeply, and so he drew the giant cedar as he stood there looking at it for a long, long time. All right, one more volunteer. Let's see. Would you like to come up? Oh, you can go right down there. That'll work. Do we have room? One more kid looked even closer at the cedar tree and saw something else growing on it. Does anybody know what that is who can see it? I know it's hard to see all of these. Lichen. This kid saw lichen, and the shape of the lichen made her think of the bursts of energy that she used, and so did her powered wheelchair. And the lichen is actually two beings working together. It is algae and a fungi. And the fungus gives the shape to the lichen, and the algae brings food to them, making food from the sun. And this kid had a lot of teamwork in her life and a lot of helping too. Yeah. And Joy. Joy was not feeling very joyful, as all the kids around her were finding things to put in their sketchbooks or in their recorders. And then she saw something. She saw a little splash of purple nearby, and it was a little purple flower. One last volunteer. Would you like to come up and hold this? She saw a beautiful purple flower. It was so lovely. And as she moved toward it, she wasn't looking where she was going, and her foot tripped on a root, and she went splash and fell right in the creek that was right there. Oh my. One of the kids zipped around and saw what had happened and told everybody else. And another kid came and asked her, "Are you okay?" Somebody else came and offered her a squeeze because they knew sometimes feeling squeezed helped them feel better. Another kid came and offered to carry her drenched backpack on the back of their wheelchair so that it wouldn't drip all over her. When they got back to their gathering point, Joy realized that her lunch was completely drenched. So another kid went to everybody who was there and gathered up the extras from everybody's lunches so she had something to eat, and it was really tasty. Later on, Joy's teacher gave her a new sketchbook, and she drew her flower from memory, and her teacher said, "Oh, I think your flower is..." What? Can somebody who sees it, does anybody know what kind of flower that is? Said, "I think your flower is an orchid." Orchids are really interesting because their seeds are so teeny tiny that they don't carry food with them. And so fungi growing nearby give nutrients to the seeds, to the orchid as it grows. And then when the orchid gets bigger, it gives nutrients back to the fungi. Orchids need just right conditions to grow. And so when an orchid flower is there, when it blooms, you can see that that is a really good sign of the health of the ecosystem it's in. And Joy looked around at her classmates and thought about all the help she had gotten and how much she counts on them and how much they count on her, and she realized she was part of another kind of ecosystem, her class. And together they were all just right. And that is our story for this morning. Thank you all so much for helping. And now for our learners and leaders who are heading out to our RE spaces, we're going to sing them out with our recessional. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we can applaud that. Each week we set aside time in our service to share the joys and concerns that connect us as a community. If you would like personal support, the Pastoral Care Line is always open for calls or texts. That number is listed in your order of service and in our weekly newsletter. We share many joys this week, including Faye Joyce, who is celebrating progress in her metastatic cancer treatment. On Thursday, her 2 brain cancer spots were treated with gamma knife radiation, and a biopsy revealed that her cancer appears to be responding to immunotherapy, allowing her to avoid chemotherapy. So we celebrate with Faye. In her typical good humor, Faye joked about using her scary-looking treatment mask as a Freddy Krueger Halloween costume. She's deeply grateful and appreciates all the church volunteers providing meals and rides, and we're grateful for her in our lives. As mentioned earlier, we wish Marion Von Beck a happy 90th birthday. Marion is a longtime member of Personal Beliefs and Commitments, and the PBNC team has put together a reception for her after today's service and invites everyone to stop by and celebrate with cake this milestone in Marion's life. I have heard a rumor that John and Lillian Mashburn have celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. So we wish them all the best. We celebrate with Jamie Combs and Carla Lewis, who met at TVUUC 26 years ago this past week on September 17th, and have now been happily married for 12 years. They recently expressed their gratitude to the congregation and specifically recognized Dr. Jamie Adcock, the first openly transgender person in our congregation. So congratulations to Jamie and Carla. We have a lot of volunteers to recognize this week. We celebrate and recognize all the folks who are making Family Promise happen this week, which runs from this Sunday to the next. Families in our community will be staying here at the church during this week, and we're thankful to everyone who is hosting meals and volunteering for overnight hosting. So thank you to all of those volunteers. This Friday on September 26th at 5:30 p.m., we will gather for the memorial service for Linda Randolph. We're heartened by the strong team of volunteers and thank them as we gather to celebrate Linda's life and memory. And this morning, we're thinking of Jennifer Fowler, who is scheduled for a surgery tomorrow to replace her shoulder joint. 20 years ago, she had a shoulder repair for a torn rotator cuff, and she has developed arthritis in the joint. Jennifer requests that the community send healing light as she moves forward with this surgery. With these joys and concerns in our hearts and on our minds, and the many unspoken experiences we each carry, let us join together in our congregational response. The words are printed in your order of service, and you may remain seated.
Let us now say these words of discernment, hope, and commitment together. When we rediscover our connections to nature and the cosmos, we can realign our life with the universal movement toward oneness and harmony in and through diversity. We can restore the spark in the human spirit and bring forth our innate love, compassion, wisdom, and joy to live a flourishing life. The time has come for every one of us to awaken the divine spark that resides in our heart.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or a light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find a key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings. In the oneness of everything, the lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth ever giving. And now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living. For the oneness of everything. Still, we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduced in terms defined, vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Passing years just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
Special thank you to my friend Sam, my family. Thank you, buddy. When the Onondaga Nation's chief, Orrin Lyons, spoke to the United Nations in 1977, he said, "I do not see a delegation for the four-footed. I see no seat for the eagles." Orrin had been the first among his people to attend college. He describes how, on a visit home during a semester break, his uncle had taken him fishing. When they were out on the lake, he said to him,
You have been to college. You have been to college now, so you must be pretty smart. Let me ask you, who are you?
"What do you mean, Uncle? I'm your nephew."
Who are you?
"I'm Orrin Lyons.
No.
I'm an Onondaga.
No.
I'm a human being."
No.
After he had run out of responses and begun to experience that humility of consciousness beneath the presumption of easy mechanical answers, a state in which he did not know, and was receptive to the love of his elder, his uncle pointed to the shoreline and asked him,
Do you see that bluff over there? You are that bluff. And that giant pine on the other shore. You are that pine. And the water that supports this boat, you are this water.
In this personal way, as an elder and keeper of his people's traditional ways, Orrin's uncle helped his nephew to see beyond the naive and presumptuous civilized individualism that was blind to the unity of life which his people had known for millennia. He brought him back to the essential relations we have with all life.
Well, I'm not sure what we're doing now, but I'll speak. We here at TVUUC don't cancel talk show hosts or comedians. My God, they haven't canceled me yet. Imagine that. This next song is dedicated to all the queers and to Marion Von Beck and all of our allies. Happy birthday, Marion, on your 90th. Enjoy the song and dance if you feel like it.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. Your heart's racing today like it hasn't before, I bet. Hey, that's the first time I've been in church in a long time with where we were dancing, but I love it. And good morning again. And thank you for coming out this morning. Welcome to this service of sharing and healing, where our intent today is to explore our sense of oneness, our interconnectedness with ourselves and all things, and the power of authenticity as it relates to creating an appreciation for diversity and the inclusion of voices that may often go unheard. Today is a gift for which I am deeply grateful, especially because I'm doing it with people that I love very much. Every day is a gift. But I'm not often given the opportunity to share the few things I've learned about the power of authenticity. A spiritual journey that I've been on for a lifetime, yet one that lived dormant and unrecognized for many years, even to myself. I lived 53 years as Susan. I was happy enough. I had a good life, 3 children, and a partner. And one day during the pandemic, I said, oh gosh, I don't have to shave for a while. I'm on Zoom, no one will notice. And about 2 weeks later, I woke up and I looked in the mirror and I realized that I've not been living my most authentic life. And so today, I'm going to share just a little bit with you about that journey. But I'd like to start with a few minutes of a silent meditation, if you would. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, or at least lower your gaze, as if there were nothing in the room but you and the floor. Begin by just focusing on your breathing and allow the tension in and around your body to gradually dissipate as you focus only on your breathing. There's the in-breath and the out-breath. The in-breath and the out-breath. Notice how your body does that without your need to think. And as you allow your mind to clear from the thoughts and worries outside this very moment, as thoughts arrive, just allow them to pass through as if they were clouds. And as you begin to feel more centered, allow yourself to search within for a small point of light. Its location will vary, so there's no real specific place to search. Just allow it to show up for you as you continue to focus on your breathing. You may not see it. It may be an impression, or you may feel its warmth. But you will know it, and you will sense where it emanates from. As you find the light source, just notice it. For it is your source of oneness, a creative spark, a piece of divinity, the fire that lies deep within your spirit, connecting you with everyone in this room. And although they may live in varying degrees of awareness with all living things, you can allow it to expand and connect with those around you as you wish, or simply just spend a moment noticing the effects on your body and your mind as you raise your awareness of its presence within you. And as you complete your exploration and return to this collective space, I invite you to simply give yourself the freedom to acknowledge your light and offer appreciation for this moment and for its presence. The experience you just had was one of mysticism, the purpose of which is to experience the oneness of all things. And if we had gone further, you may have connected even more. Thich Nhat Hanh is the leader of that, the author. Mysticism is not about exploring the supernatural, but more about stepping beyond the known into the vast field of pure consciousness to experience oneness. This is a core tenet of mysticism. And with this experience, I'd like to just take a little journey through some of the world's religions this morning and what they have to say about oneness, because most of them include that concept. In Hinduism, there's the Aikyam. Oneness, unity, harmony, unanimity, identity, sameness, identical. I am that. In the Upanishads, some of the Hindu central teachings and scriptures, they address two fundamental ideas: the Brahman, which is the ultimate reality or world soul, and the Atman, the individual soul, one and the same. It's a non-dualistic concept known as Advaita. Freedom is the realization of that. A quote from the Isha Upanishad: "The wise man beholds all beings in the self, and the self in all beings. For that reason, he does not hate anyone." There's Hinduism. How about Buddhism? Buddhism, of course, is a non-theistic religion. Siddhartha Gautama is the social leader of that. He was an extraordinary human being, a spiritual master. He was awakened. He was a teacher, but not a god. He said, "He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings, and all beings in his own self." Thus, he looks on everything with an impartial eye. There's a questionable quote, whether or not it came from him. You know, we get things and then it gets distorted. But I like the questionable quote, and so I want to read it to you. In separateness lies great misery. Very different, right? In compassion lies true strength. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. Judeo-Christian tradition, that's Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and variations thereof, coming mostly from the Bible. Genesis 1:26, and God said, "Let us make man in our image according to our likeness." Divinity. John 10:30, I and the Father are one, spoken by Jesus. John 14:20 follows with, "At that day you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. We are connected." John 17:21, it's a prayer, "That they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they may also be in us." And finally, Galatians 3:28 says, "There's neither Jew nor Greek, slave nor free, male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." African cultures, many of them, have a concept of Ubuntu, Ubuntu, this central tenet, is a belief in a deep interconnectedness and interdependence between all beings. Ubuntu emphasizes harmony and mutual dependence, where all is one and one is all. Oneness in African religions, although there are many and not all connected, oneness in African religions describes a fundamental understanding that the divine, the cosmos, and humanity are all part of a unified whole. Coming on back to our Native American traditions here. They had it right. We messed it up. This kind of thing. They're built on the core principle of oneness, or interconnectedness with all of creation, the forest, the trees, the bluff. They see all living and non-living elements as relatives within an intricate web of life. They promote a deep sense of responsibility, respect, and stewardship toward a natural world. This is the Green Day, Green Sanctuary Day. And we're promoting that. We're taking a look at environmental justice. This congregation deeply cares about environmental justice and taking care of our earth. So you didn't get it that wrong. Mitakwai Oyasin, which I know I got that wrong, and if you're from the Lakota tribe, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to you up front. Means we're all related. Harinosani Thanksgiving address is a powerful message of gratitude. Gratitude spoken at ceremonies and gatherings that gives thanks to the people of the earth, the waters, the plants, the animals, the elements of the natural world, bringing the minds of the people together as one. Then there's the medicine wheel with the interconnectedness of life, and its whole symbol relates to that. The Anishinaabe 7 grandfather teachings. And this is what I really want us to think about, because we're going to kind of come back to this at the end. Wisdom, love, respect, bravery, honesty, humility, and truth. They're interconnected and cannot live in isolation. For example, humility is represented by the wolf, and it reminds people that we are one, but a very small part of a very big creation. Interconnected, but part of it all. There are 4 parts to this worldview, which is predominant in most Native American tribes: reciprocity, stewardship, communalism, and environmental harmony. If I look at the tenets of this church, I forget what you call them, the 8, thank you, principles. The 8 principles, thank you for helping. It's right there. So with the concept of oneness in mind, let's just take a moment to explore authenticity, because we're going to talk about the oneness of authenticity as our pathway today. The definition of authenticity is as follows. Authentic. Well, authenticity says it's authentic. So, authentic, then, is an adjective meaning real or actual, not false or imitation. It can also mean true to one's own personality, character, or values. This can be a complicated idea in today's world for many reasons. I'm standing up here, I'm probably one of those reasons. But especially if you're part of a marginalized community. Because our society In the United States of America, well, mentioning that we're going backwards, very quickly backwards. But even without that, we naturally prioritize whiteness, masculinity, and heterosexuality. The power is there. The power dynamics are there. And as you are part of a group that does not belong to that, and you might ask, what in the world was I thinking? Yeah, I wouldn't have ever gone backwards. And in some ways it feels like that, and in other ways. Authenticity is as it is, and we get to bring what we bring. Our light is our light, and we bring it wherever we can. My goal today is to bring mine to you as a jumping off point to the full appreciation of diversity, which stands against the systems of oppression that run this country. It stands in contrast to the power dynamics, and it says, we are all important. And we can choose to begin with our oneness. That spark that is in all of us, it's the same. It doesn't matter what color we are. It doesn't matter what gender we are. That light, that energy inside of us is a spark of the divine, of creativity. And we get to bring it. Each of us get to bring it wherever we go. So what if we brought it? What if we brought it to every space we go with the intent to appreciate the authenticity of whoever wants to show up? It's easier to do that in safe spaces like this. It's much more challenging when there's a rapid fire or you're standing against the world. We came today, all of us are here. Jasmine, our house manager, Jack, our student intern from the University of Tennessee, past and former residents of Bryant's Bridge, many of whom are already on their own. We exist as a sanctuary, as a safe space, to learn how to be authentic. My appreciation for this congregation has always been that no matter who I showed up as, y'all loved me and said, we're glad you're here. Because I showed up for a long time as Susan, doing very different things with little kids. Oneness is our place to begin. And the oneness of authenticity may be a different concept for you, but we allow whoever comes to be as they are. We might want them to change, but we are not in charge of that. We are only here to be the model, to show up with love, perhaps joy, when people think that it's not possible, the security within ourselves and each other. The oneness of authenticity is the place to begin. I believe that I don't know if I convinced you of that, but it has a very loud voice in its quietness. It speaks loudly, and it is an extravagant welcome, which I believe is also part of who you are. Thank you for the few moments. Bryant's Bridge appreciates all of the support that you have given us over the time, and that you continue to give us that support. We love you, and we join with you in the oneness of authenticity. Thank you. I'm humbled. And before we sing, there they are. I was worried about where they were. The butterfly bricks. I just have this little note. Mary wanted me to share it with you because on our Earth Day and our expression and our transformation, butterflies represent transformation. The butterfly bricks were created a few years ago for use in a TVUUC butterfly pollinator garden in honor of Terry Combs Orme. If you knew Terry Combs Orme was amazing. Mentor and guide for me at the College of Social Work. Totally changed my life when she taught me about trauma and epigenetics. And so, enjoy the butterfly bricks today. They'll have some things for you to do with them later, I feel certain.
Let the beauty we love be what we do. There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground.